All right, well, welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Illinois students, sponsored by the Illinois Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at IACAC.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within a week at the same website, IACAC.org. So now I'll turn it over to our presenters.
Hi, my name is Asher. I am an admissions counselor at Iowa Wesleyan University. I will be talking a little bit about the history of Iowa Wesleyan, the strong heritage that we have here. Iowa Wesleyan was founded in 1842. We actually have the oldest building west of the Mississippi River that's been continuously used for higher education. Today, it's still used for our English department, so you will actually take classes in this wonderfully old building. So it's a wonderful thing. Iowa Wesleyan, being as old as we are, we have a lot of history, a lot of rich heritage. Senator James Harlan was president of the university from 1853 to 1855. As you'll see some of the stuff on the screen, he was a close friend of President Lincoln. In 1860, he got elected to the U.S. Senate. Served during the Civil War. After the Civil War, became Secretary of the Interior. His statue is here on campus. That was actually in Washington, D.C. for over 100 years. Each state has two statues representing the state in Statutory Hall. And Senator Harlan represented Iowa for over 100 years. He just got retired in 2014, and they brought him back to Iowa, and the university petitioned the state to bring him back to Iowa Wesleyan. So they brought him back to campus in 2014. Some of the interesting history is that Iowa Wesleyan's been a co-ed university since it was founded. So the cool thing with that is the fact that you think about 1842, a co-ed university. That's just didn't happen in the 1800s. So women have always been a central part of our university and our college. 1866, Belle Babb Mansfield graduated. She went to school here at Wesleyan with her brother. She was the valedictorian and he was the salutatorian. So he actually took the bar exam, passed it, and became a lawyer. Belle, like many sisters and brothers of today, looked at it and went, well, I was valedictorian and he passed the bar, so I know I'm smart enough to pass the bar as well. So she took the bar exam and passed the bar exam, and the only problem was it was against the law for her to be an attorney. So with her brother representing her, they sued the state of Iowa, and it went all the way to the Supreme Court in 1869. Right before the Supreme Court came down with its ruling, the state of Iowa changed its law. Belle became the first female attorney in the history of the United States. So a little small college in Southeast Iowa changed the course of our nation. Today, the National Association of Women Lawyers, their highest award is called the Mansfield Award. It is named after Belle Babb Mansfield. We have two Supreme Court justices sitting on the bench today who have received the Mansfield Award. So when you think of the women suffragettes of the early 1900s, 1910s, 1920s, Susan B. Anthony, their role model was Belle Babb Mansfield. She changed the course of American history. Another one of our illustrious graduates was Dr. James Van Allen. If you know anything about science, he is a man who discovered the radiation belts that surround the Earth. He graduated here with his degree in physics, and it went on to the University of Iowa and got his doctorate, and that's where he discovered the radiation belts that surround the Earth and everything. So he made space exploration possible, which kind of opened the doors for another one of our illustrious graduates, Peggy Whitson. Peggy came to school here in 1977. She is from a small town in Iowa with population 32. And Peggy wanted to play college ball. She wanted to be an athlete, but she also understood that she wasn't going to play at a Division I university of like Iowa or Iowa State. So she came to Iowa Wesleyan to play college ball. And she sat down. The cool thing was when she got here, she sat down with her academic advisor. And her academic advisor asked her what she wanted to do with her life. Peggy her response was, I want to be an astronaut. And you have to understand this was 8 years after Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. So it had a huge impact on her to see man walk on the moon. And so she wanted to be an astronaut. And her academic advisor could have looked at her and said, gee, that's a stupid thing to do, because there weren't women astronauts at the time. But her academic advisor looked at her and said, let's make a plan. What can we do to achieve that goal? And so with her guidance, Peggy took every science class she could, majored in biology, but took every science class we had, graduated in 1981, went to Rice University, got her PhD in biology, and she started applying to NASA. Now you have to understand that in her application process to NASA, she got rejected 10 years in a row. Now, I've met and talked to Peggy multiple times, and one of the things Peggy said is that one of the things that they stressed was that the T in Tiger stands for being tenacious. So she didn't give up. She continued to apply, and she applied that 11th year and got accepted into NASA's astronaut training program. She went through the training program, and she became the first female commander of the International Space Station. She's the only female to command it twice. The cool thing is Peggy has numerous records. She has more spacewalks than any NASA person. She has more time in space than any American in the history of NASA. She has more time in space than any woman in the history of mankind. Peggy has retired, but she has said there's one thing that would get her to come out of retirement, and that would be to do another trip to the moon. And now NASA is talking about doing its next manned mission to the moon. So Peggy might just come out of retirement to be the first woman to walk on the moon. The cool thing is, when you think about it, is here is a little tiny school in Southeast Iowa that she got her degree in, that Belle got her degree in, and they literally became record breakers and changed the course of our nation. So you could go to a small university. The great thing is, because you're at a small university, you get great attention from your professors. Our student-to-teacher ratio is 15-1. So you're not going to be having class sizes that are 350 and 400 students. You're going to have a much smaller classroom size, so you get a much more hands-on experience here at Iowa Wesleyan. And that's one of the great things of our history here, is the fact that you get that hands-on training here at Iowa Wesleyan. And because of that, you can go on and change history with everything that you get to do and everything. So hopefully that will give you a little bit of our history of our university, and maybe make it where you want to come take a look at us. Going to the next presenter.
Thanks, Asher. So just to go off of that, 100% of our students also receive financial assistance. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. And 100% of our students do complete some form of professional experience, so really an emphasis on that hands-on learning. And one benefit of that is that 85% of our students start careers in their field of study right after college. And right now we have over 700 full and part-time students here on our campus. And we have more than 28 student-led organizations and intramurals to do as well. So I'm going to turn it over to our admissions counselor, Ashlyn. She's going to talk about our academic programs here at IW.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashlyn Lingle. As Hannah said, I'm one of the admission counselors here. I currently oversee the Missouri Southeast Territory. I'm also the agribusiness program consultant. So if you have any questions specifically about ag business after this, I'm more than happy to answer them for you. Otherwise, I can always answer just your basic admissions questions as well. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start with our bachelor program. So as you can see, there is a list of about 20 some different programs on the screen right now. As I mentioned, agribusiness, this is one of our newest programs. I will talk about that a little bit later once we get through the rest of them. We have biology, we have business administration, which within this degree, there's multiple different concentrations that you can go into. You can go into accounting, you can go into finance, you can go into sports management, you can do music. There's a lot of different ways you kind of blend through. The nice thing about our business department is that you are also have the opportunity to be Microsoft certified once you complete your degree. Business is also one of our largest programs on campus, but not far behind it is actually criminal justice. So after business administration, you see Christian studies, and then, like I said, criminal justice. This is one of our most popular programs on campus. We have really great faculty within this area that has been practicing law and uses a lot of his experiences to help students. Aside from that, we have digital media design, which our students in this program actually get to make a lot of different marketing materials and help our marketing team design videography and different social media graphics, things of that nature to help promote our university. We have educational studies, which is something that if a student is looking to go into education, but maybe not necessarily do a teaching background, this is another way for you to get that educational knowledge. So where you could go into like public relations, communications, things of that nature. After that, we have elementary education and physical education, secondary science education, and then our new one is secondary business education. All of these are really great education degrees to go into if you're wanting to teach at elementary level, if you want to teach at the high school level. We have a couple different endorsements that you're able to get within education, such as reading. You can do special education, math. There's a whole bunch of others. Nice thing about the education program is that when you are enrolled, you will have an advisor that will actually help you walk through deciding which endorsements work best for you, kind of help you figure out what's the best path to get your educational goal completed. We also have exercise science and wellness, which is a very popular degree as well, very hands-on. One of the professors there actually used to be a division athlete, so he uses a lot of his experiences in the classroom. Then human services, humanities, music. Nursing is also one of our largest programs on campus. Our students are able to participate in clinicals at the local hospital here in Mount Pleasant, at the regional hospital. They also are able to go into the county jail and do different mental health programming. And then with us being so close to the Quad Cities and the University of Iowa, our students also have the opportunity to do clinicals through there. So a lot of variation where you do clinicals, so you can really kind of gain the full experience of being a nursing student, and you kind of figure out where you fit best in the field. And then we also have psychology and then social work. Along with that, we have a couple pre-professional programs, pre-chiropractic program, pre-law, and then also pre-athletic training. Our athletic training, we do have a partnership with Culver Stockton to where you're able to do 2 years at Iowa Wesleyan and then 3 years at Culver Stockton. And with that, you'll get your bachelor's as well as your master's degree. So Hannah wants to flip. As I mentioned, as I'm going to go a little more into agribusiness, this is our newest program on campus. It started last fall. We had a big announcement in January announcing that we are starting the program, yet it was established in November, give or take. The whole idea behind this program is to really help our area have more opportunities for our students. So within Southeast Iowa, we're a very ag heavy area. And with that, there's not enough students as well as educated professionals available to fill all the different agribusiness jobs within the community. So the community members actually reached out, worked with our faculty, and they kind of helped design this program. So agribusiness here at Iowa Wesleyan is very focused on helping our students get a very solid base in agriculture and kind of expand your basic knowledge within the business realm at the same time. So as you can see, there's a couple different career possibilities for our students if they would choose to go into agribusiness. A lot of these career possibilities can also be different internships here at Iowa Wesleyan. So we are very fortunate to have multiple different agricultural companies that are constantly looking for interns, everything from like Beck Seeds, Mershman Seeds. We have a couple different feed dealers close by. There's always a couple different banks and credit unions. So the really nice thing is our agriculture professor, Professor Furlong, has actually spent all summer going out and cultivating relationships with these businesses, so that way students like you are able to have internships when you come to Iowa Wesleyan. At the same time, we've also been really working on helping develop the program, find land to do a farm so our students have a lot of research opportunities. Anything to really kind of help develop, like I said, our students' agriculture background as well as the business side, so that way you're able to go on past college and be successful within the industry. So that is all I have for programs. Oh, just kidding. We have education and nursing a little bit further. So this is kind of the information that I had mentioned before. Forgive me for the confusion. As you can see, again, educational studies is on there, elementary education, secondary education, science, all that, and then some. If you'd like more information, feel free to click on the link and go to get more info. Our education program does a great job of answering the very specific questions, such as different requirements you need to start to be enrolled into the program. If you have any prereqs, things of that nature, they're really great about helping kind of talk you through that. And like I said, once you get here, they'll be able to kind of help hold your hand to help you figure out what endorsements fit best for your educational goals. And then after that, Hannah has nursing, which we do offer a BSN, which is a Bachelor of Nursing. That is something, if you are interested in nursing, to always check out. There are different levels of nursing. So if you choose to go to like a community college, most likely you'll be getting an associate's in nursing or an RN, which can be a registered nurse, or an LPN, depending on the credits you're taking. And then typically once you complete one of those 3 degrees, you can go on and get your BSN. A lot of medical professionals and companies are requesting for students to have their BSN just for the mere fact they're needing someone who has the knowledge and experience to hold a managerial position. And having that BSN gives you the opportunity to be a director or a manager of a floor or work your way up to being CEO a lot quicker than if you just had a 2-year degree. And as you can see, the Iowa Wesleyan nursing program is very hands-on. You have one-on-one mentoring. You will have an advisor from the actual nursing program kind of help talk you through what classes you need to be taking. They'll help you place clinicals, all that different stuff. One big thing about our nursing program is our students actually have the opportunity to do a study abroad for 2 weeks where they go to a different country. This year they went to Peru, and you have 2 weeks of where you kind of get to explore the area, but at the same time, you also get to apply the medical knowledge you gained while being at Iowa Wesleyan. And then biology, this is definitely one of our popular science degrees if a student is just interested in science as a whole. Our science department is actually where, as Asher mentioned, Peggy Whitson graduated from, and her original advisor still teaches here. Her name is Ms. DP. Everyone loves her. So the biology department has a lot of rich history to it, and at the same time, they've really built upon that. As you can see, there's a couple different concentrations within chemistry, or within biology. You have chemistry, you have biological studies. If you're interested in going on to like being a doctorate or so, pre-med is definitely a good area to look at. There's veterinary medicine. That is very similar to the ag business program, but obviously you're gonna be very more focused on vet medicine. So if you're interested in maybe animal science and you're not quite sure where you want to go, maybe starting off taking classes in the vet med degree as well as ag business might be a good blend for you. And again, criminal justice, like I said, our most popular program as in growth right now currently on campus. You can see all the different career opportunities, and a lot of our students have different internship opportunities here as well. We actually had a graduate assistant this last year. He was a criminal justice major, and one of his internships was actually through the Henry County Sheriff's Department. So he worked in the county jail a little bit. He did nightly routines. He drove around with the different sheriffs, asked a lot of different questions. He really enjoyed the experience. I know there's other students that have done that. There's a lot of different opportunities. And again, Like I said, we have professors there that use their connections and their networks to help you find the internship that fits best for your educational goals. So, all right, with that, that is all I have for programs. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to message us later. If not, I will pass it off to Hannah.
Thanks, Ashlyn. So as Ashlyn mentioned, my name is Hannah Estabrook. I'm also the admissions counselor here at IW. I'm going to talk a little bit about career readiness opportunities that we offer. One thing that IW really prides itself on is service learning. So we're ranked as one of the top universities in the country for our commitment to community service. So as our incoming freshmen come in, they have like an introduction to college course, and they get to choose a service project at the end of that. So that way they can use what they've learned to give back to our community, and throughout their time here at Iowa Wesleyan, they'll continue to use what they've learned to give back to not only the campus, but to our wider community here at Mount Pleasant. So Ashton mentioned a lot of internship opportunities. So an internship is like a short-term work experience with an employer in your career field. So you might want to test out somewhere that you're interested in, make sure it's a good place for you. Maybe you want to do this after graduation. An internship is a great way to get a feel for on-the-job experience and how much you like that job field. Your professors will work one-on-one with you to help find your internships. If you're going into education, your internship is going to be like your student teaching experience. For nursing, it's going to be your clinical experiences as well. We also have a career development office, and they will help you write your cover letters and resumes. A lot of our departments require you to turn in a cover letter and resume as part of your class, which is really awesome. So that way you have it ready right when you graduate. You can turn in your cover letters and resumes to potential employers. We also have a clothing closet that will help you dress for success. So to help you look nice at an interview, and they'll teach you interviewing strategies as well, how to answer specific questions. And they're going to also teach you job search strategies. So what are you going to do to find the job that you want? What kind of resources should you be using? And then they also offer career counseling. So what kind of careers you should go into. And then they also offer counseling for life after college. So transitioning from this college experience to your real life experience within your job field. So this is a very important office here on campus for career readiness. So our admissions process is fairly straightforward. To apply, you would go to iw.edu, and up in the right-hand corner of our page on our webpage is an apply tab, or you can go to our admissions page by going to iw.edu/admissions. When you apply, please send us your transcripts. That way we can set up a financial aid package for you. And then we also need to complete your FAFSA. FAFSA for the fall of 2021 opens up on October 1st. That also helps us with financial aid. Once you've done that, we highly recommend that you schedule a visit to meet with an admissions counselor and get a tour of campus. That way you get to know the campus a little bit better. And also during a visit, you have the opportunity to meet with professors within your degree field. And if you are interested in athletics, you can meet with a coach as well. Once you have done all of that and you've decided, yes, I'm going to be a Tiger, your last step is to deposit. And what your deposit is, it is an amount that is saying, hey, yes, I'm coming to campus this fall. So that way you can register for classes and housing. And that deposit will go back towards your tuition. Financial aid. Our financial aid breakdown here is based on a full-time student who's living on campus, and this would be a typical dorm price of $43,710. However, 100% of our students, like I said earlier, do get some form of financial aid, and a good majority of our students receive financial aid up to $20,000 or more. However, that's not guaranteed, but that is a good average for the amount our students get. There are other scholarship opportunities as well and need-based grants that you can apply for. And each year we award over $5 million in scholarships to our full-time residential students. Our admissions counselors will be hosting weekly Zoom nights Monday through Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. And here's our Zoom link here. This would be a great time to ask them questions about Iowa Wesleyan or the college experience in general. All of our counselors are very knowledgeable, so they'll be able to answer all of your questions. All right, Raul, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about athletics.
Can you hear me? Hi, my name is Raul Lozano. I am the admissions counselor who is in charge of the Chicago and Northern Illinois area. I am an alumni here at Iowa, and I was a two-sport athlete when we were NAIA. Can you click the next slide? There we go. Athletics offered. We offer 10 different sports, some men, some women, 8 men's and 8 women's sports, basketball, men's and women, baseball, football, softball, soccer, men's and women's soccer, volleyball, men's and women's golf, men's and women's cross country, as well as track and field for men and women. And we offer wrestling now, which is new to Iowa Wesleyan. I couldn't remember the last time we had wrestling, so it's exciting to have on campus. We do have a brand new facility. A family donated $240,000 for a brand new facility for men's and women's wrestling. Right now, I believe we currently have about 40 to 50 new wrestlers on campus, which is exciting. Can't wait for that to come around. So we are in the transition right now. We currently are Division III when it comes to sports. We are transitioning to NAIA. We will know October 5th, I believe, if we do get granted to become an NAIA university. I am an alumni when we were NAIA here. The atmosphere the NAIA brings to campus is exciting. Anywhere from basketball, we competed back then in basketball, and it was just exciting. The campus was live. The area, all families from all over the area come to campus to support all athletics. Packed house when it comes to baseball, packed house when it comes to football and basketball. Just a little bit about the NAIA. It is like a sister association to the NCAA. It's not less and it's not more than the NCAA. It's its own branch, and it's a great thing to be a part of. We can offer scholarships when it comes to NAIA. Being Division III, we can only offer academic scholarships, but being NAIA, we can offer both. So we cannot stack scholarships, which means we cannot give you athletic and academic scholarships, but we can award athletic scholarships by itself, and then we can award academic scholarships, and whatever one outweighs the other is which we can choose that benefits you. Just a little bit about being a successful student athlete. Student comes first. So coaches and faculty on campus will help you be a successful student as well as a successful athlete, which is great to have. I'm from California, being far away from home. I definitely enjoyed having the support that is on campus from staff and from coaches. They help you keep your grades up. You'll have study table. They'll do classroom checks just to make sure you're going to class, holding you accountable, just like you hold them accountable to be better each and every day.
Thank you. That's awesome. So a little bit about campus life, and then we're going to go to our questions. We do have a residential campus here at Iowa Wesleyan, and we have 2 dorm buildings, 1 male and 1 female. And based on availability, students can apply to live in suite style housing or campus apartments after their first year on campus. And typically there are 2 people to a room in the dorm buildings. However, single rooms can be requested if they're available. We also have over 28 student-led organizations on campus, and some of our most popular ones are Criminal Justice Club, GSA, Tiger Guides, Student Athlete Advisory Committee, Dance Team, our Biological Society, and many more. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and then we're going to go see if we have any questions. I don't see any so far, but if you do have any, please go ahead and type your questions in the Q&A. Admissions counselors, is there anything else that we could add to our presentation? I think we covered everything pretty well. Asher, you're muted.
Yeah, there we go. Am I unmuted?
Yep, you're
Okay.
good.
So one of the things, as Ashley was talking about some of our educational programs, one of the really cool things is we have multiple articulation agreements. So we have an articulation agreement with University of Iowa. We have a 3+3 agreement with them. So you can do 3 years here with us. This is for law school. So if you're looking at, a lot of students want to become lawyers in the future, you can do 3 years with us. Meet all the requirements, then you can go to the University of Iowa, which is about an hour north of us in Iowa City. Do 3 years there and finish your law degree and graduate from there. So you're graduating with your Doctor of Jurisprudence in 6 years versus 7 years. So you cut a whole year out of the process. Same thing goes for our pre-chiropractic program. We have an articulation agreement with Palmer Chiropractic, where you do 3 years with us, 3 years with them. Just like with University of Iowa, your first year of chiropractic school or your first year of law school reverts back to us to finish your undergrad degree. So it's not like you're not getting your undergrad degree. You still get your undergrad, but then you can, then you're only doing 3 years of graduate studies to either get your doctorate of chiropractic or your doctor of jurisprudence with the University of Iowa. And we have that same articulation agreement with Culver Stockton to get your athletic training, get your master's in athletic training. That's a 3+2 degree. So you do 3 years with us, 2 years with them. So those are some really great programs that we have that go above and beyond our, just our regular degree programs here and everything. So that's one of the things I love talking to students. I'm a little bit partial. My daughter went to school here, graduated in the middle of all this COVID craziness. She graduated in May, had a job in her career field. Real quick, what's really cool is she's became an educator. Right now, I was talking to our education department. Our educators, all of our student teachers who graduated past the praxis, we have 100% employment. As a matter of fact, schools around the state of Iowa are calling and going, we need teachers. Do you have anybody who's graduated, who's a teacher? And our education departments are going, sorry, they've all got jobs. So we place our students really well into their career field. Also, with our nursing department, the last 3 years, we've had a 100% pass rate on the national boards. So in the nursing department, they're going to get you ready. Once you pass that, or once you graduate, you got to take the national boards to become, to become a registered nurse and all that kind of stuff. So we get you ready to pass the national boards and everything. So obviously, when you come to college, one of the things that you want to do is you want to be able to get a job after you graduate. So we do our best to get you placed after you graduate, and it's good to see that our teachers do so well and our nursing students do so well, that they pass those tests and then they get their licensure and they're able to get jobs right away. So just some things to think about and everything. Okay, Hannah, back to you. Did we get any questions?
We did not get any questions yet.
Okay.
One thing also to mention is that when living on campus, you do have a meal plan. You get 19 meals a week. So 3 meals for the weekdays each day, and then 2 meals for your weekend days. So we serve brunch and dinner instead of an early breakfast on Saturday and Sundays. And then Our campus also offers a lot of entertainment for our students. Since we are a smaller campus, there aren't a whole lot of other things to go do in town necessarily, especially during the winter and stuff like that. So we've had different bands come in. I know Asher has mentioned to me that we've had Chinese acrobats come in. It's kind of interesting to have for students for an entertainment point of view. Being a small town in Mount Pleasant does have its benefits, though. We are very close to other big towns such as Iowa City, Des Moines, and Cedar Rapids. We also have an Amtrak station right here in town. So that's one way to travel here by train. And we're also 4 blocks from downtown Mount Pleasant, so you can walk to different restaurants and things like that as well. So there's plenty of things to do in town if you did want to get off campus. We also offer free parking on our campus, so if you wanted to bring a car, you could. A lot of our students choose to carpool, though.
Hey, Hannah, I want to talk a little bit about wrestling as well, since it is one of our newest programs. One of the really cool things with our wrestling department is our head coach is Sean Contos. Sean has an amazing pedigree in wrestling. And the really cool thing is the fact that Sean was one of the assistant coaches at number 3 in the nation, Penn State University. This guy is a stud when it comes to wrestling. He knows what he's doing. He's going to take our wrestlers to the next level. And his coaching staff are, all of them have wrestled Division I and are really big in the area. Several of them are record holders in the state of Iowa and at the University of Iowa I think 2 of them wrestled on the University of Iowa wrestling team with Sean when he wrestled there. University of Iowa is only one of the premier programs in wrestling in Division I wrestling. So this is our coach, and our coaching staff are guys who are amazing. We have men's and women's wrestling. So it's going to be a really interesting year. And for those students who are wrestlers, this is going to give you a great opportunity to compete, not just regionally, but nationally for a national title. So fantastic wrestling program, great wrestling facilities. I've been over to the wrestling facilities several times, and it's just a wow facility for our wrestlers and everything. So one of the cool things that I don't know if Raul, I don't remember Raul talking about, is one of the things that we do for our student athletes is we do require that our student athletes do what we call study tables. It's where you actually have a support structure. It's in the Oasis, and that's our Office of Academic Success and Inclusive Support. So you're not going over there just sitting in there by yourself. We have tutors available. We have a reading specialist. We have writing specialists. We have proofreaders, multiple tutors. If you're struggling with a class, there is no reason for you not to get help. It's covered by your tuition, so it doesn't cost anything extra. We'll work on getting study groups. But the student athletes are required to do so many hours a week. They have to sign in, they have to sign out. But what that does for you is it teaches you that important study skill of when to study, how to take time and build a proper schedule, how to take time and actually do your work. Because college is not high school. In high school, you do 80% of the work in the classroom. College, you do 80% of the work outside the classroom. So you've got to learn time management. That's a big thing that you learn. And they work with you on that in the Oasis. They're going to work with you on your time management skills, but then they're also going to help you learn how to do all your things. We have proofreaders. That's one of the things I love is that proofreaders will actually bring your papers over. They'll proofread your paper for you. Spell check is a great thing. Spell check does not fix words that are spelled correctly. So you can type in the wrong word. It may be spelled correctly, but it can change the whole meaning of your paper where proofreaders can be reading that and go, what are you saying here? So they can help you fix that. So you don't turn in a paper that professor goes, you lost me. So that's part of what we're going to do with the proofreaders. We have a writing specialist who's going to actually help you write your paper. He's not going to write it for you, but he's going to sit down and go, okay, how do we get these concepts across? And he's going to help you format it. He's going to help you do your outline, all that kind of stuff, so that when you sit down and write, you know what you're doing. So that's some of the support structure that we give our students. And they're not just there for student athletes; they're there for all students. But one of the cool things that we do is we require our student athletes to use these facilities and everything. So just thought I'd help you out on that Hannah.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't even think about study hours, but that's such a great program that we offer here. The students, athletes definitely need to take advantage of, and it really helps them stay on track, because it's hard to balance coming in as a college freshman, trying to balance your new schedule here, life away from home, and trying to figure out your sports schedule as well. So they really help you build that and manage your time to the best of your ability. So it's a very beneficial office. I'm really glad that we have that opportunity to offer our students that. And then I wanted to share with us again our times that our counselor is going to be available during the week. There we go. So from Mondays through Thursdays, 6 to 8 p.m., you can talk to an admissions counselor live through our Zoom link here. And then if you have specific questions or would like to request specific information, you can go to our website at iw.edu/request information. And one of us will be able to respond to you and get you that specific information. We also encourage you to schedule a visit by also going to iw.edu/visits. And we are offering both virtual and in-person visits right now. Virtual visits are held over Zoom. And we're also offering virtual tours as well if you are unable to come and tour the campus.
And Hannah, don't forget one big thing. If you do a visit, what do you get?
You get a $1,000 scholarship just for visiting.
That's right. That's $1,000. And that $1,000 scholarship is good for all 4 years. So if you decide you want to see the campus, and after you see the campus and you decide this is a place for you, that's $4,000. That's nice. So
very nice. Yeah. And literally, you don't have to write an essay or anything. You just show up to a visit.
Right. Yeah. That's the easiest $1,000 you're ever going to earn. So
exactly. Yeah, that's a super great opportunity that everyone should be able to take advantage of, especially with our virtual visits. You can do them from anywhere. So that's one thing that's been positive with this virtual world that we've been living in. We've been able to expand our visits to people that might not have been able to come before. So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, and with Illinois, that's can be a long drive for some of our southern, especially Southern Illinois, and some of our Chicago students who, it's a 4-hour drive. You could do a virtual visit a whole lot easier, save that gas money and everything, and get to see campus and get to see, meet with an admissions counselor and a professor.
Mm-hmm.
And you can start applying for FAFSA on October 1st.
Yes. Yep.
It's only a couple weeks away.
Yeah, next week. Isn't that crazy? So.
Do you have anything else to add before we wrap up your session today?
I think that's all.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for joining us. When we close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at IACAC.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find a recording of this session as well as many others at IACAC.org. Thank you so much and have a good rest of the day.